Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Still on the issue of Fulani Herdsmen and the mayhem they've been causing cut across the whole Nigeria, especially the southern part of Nigeria. It is already heard that Governor Godwin Obaseki, Obagol of Edo State, has made decisions concerning the security intel of Edo and concerning Fulani Herdsmen and the situations that is already rampaging in Edo State, especially the whole of southern Nigeria. The question is, will they applaud them for this decision? Godwin Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, will be making, or in 10 years' time, will Edo be gnashing their teeth over this decision? Time will tell. But before we go into the newspaper to find out what it is that Obagol Godwin Obaseki has done or is about to do that will change the scenario, probably the history of Edo, if time is not taken, depending on which angle you're looking at it. We'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, sometime in 2019, it was reported that Mr. Obaseki, during the now suspended controversial ROGA program of the federal government, was among the governors who rejected the idea of the state government providing land for herders to build a settlement and grazing area for their cattle. We assure Edo people that Governor Obaseki will not cede their right and land to anybody, as our programs as a sovereign state do not run on the back of any external entity. A government house statement quoted the Edo governor as saying then in July 2019. In all the agricultural programs being executed by our Obaseki administration, the safety, security, and prosperity of our people are the top priority and non-negotiable, the statement added. Mr. Obaseki, however, reversed himself on Tuesday, saying Edo State would create a grazing area for herders to curb clashes with farmers. The governor said this while on a fact-finding tour to Udo of their southwest local government area of the state to assess the impact of the herders-farmers conflict in the state. This will stop, he said, we will create an area where the cattle will go regularly to eat, as they must not go to people's farms. This will stop cattle from moving around the community, including farmlands. A statement by Kroso Osage, the governor's spokesperson, quoted Mr. Obaseki as saying so at a town hall meeting during the tour. Mr. Obaseki also visited the traditional ruler or traditional leader, the ESA of Udo, Patrick Igbinido, in his palace. The governor, who was accompanied on the tour by the head of security agencies in the state, warned against politicizing the herder farmer conflict in Nigeria. As a government, we do not believe that we should politicize security. It is important that we get the facts right and understand what exactly is going on. We had reports about crisis and impending crisis across or around this axis. We have also had all sorts of anxieties. Well, I would call them speculations on social media about herdsmen being pushed off from neighboring states into this area and the escalating crisis or impending crisis. Our position is that we have to manage the crisis carefully. Like I said, we should not politicize the issues of herdsmen in our society. Mr. Baseki attributed the herdsmen crisis to environmental changes and called for a collective approach to solving it, rather than take it out of context because of cheap political gains to create crisis in the country. The governor, however, said it was unacceptable for herders to carry weapons in Edo. We do not accept the situation whereby anybody will be carrying or herding cattle with AK-47 rifles and other dangerous weapons. We also understand that there are bandits and criminals who pretend to be herders but undertake criminal activities such as kidnapping in the name and guise of being herdsmen. I have always urged that we should separate these people and deal with each accordingly. Today we are here to undertake assessment of ourselves, to take an assessment ourselves and to assure the people of Ovia Southwest of adequate security being provided by the government to protect the people. The ESL of Udo, Mr. Igbinido, told Mr. Obaseki the security challenges in his community have been on for a very long time. Farmers always complain about the activities of the herdsmen. When I received such report, I had to call both parties to resolve the issues immediately. We have been on it for a very long time now, the traditional leader said. The leader of the Fulani community in the area, Muhammad Buhari, thanked the governor for the fact-finding tour to the area. Mr. Buhari said the Fulani community in the area are peace-loving people who have lived in the community for years. He said his people will always support peace. In a visit to another community, Odigo community in Uhere ward of Ovia Northeast local government area of the state, Governor Obaseki said bandits who disguise as headers to perpetrate violence, kidnapping and robbery will be treated as criminals. We must separate the issues of security and politics and never accept the issue of criminality. We have always lived with headers and those we know act responsibly. The ones we see today are different and act otherwise. These are the ones that cause violence, kidnapping, robbery, and are criminals and must be treated as such, he said. A quick one. This is that's to tell you that internet never forgets. A quick one though. I could still remember we talked about Roga. What are the characteristics of the Roga that we're talking about here? That there will be ranching, there will be land given to Fulanis, okay, land bought for them, okay, we take ancestral land, whether bought or not, government of the state will give us ancestral land of the people to headers where they will build whatever they want to build, schools and all that in each state, so that they will live in that community and be able to maybe they will have emir of that community and be able to take care of their cattle without necessarily having headers a farmers clash, right? The whole Nigerian shouted, no, we don't want Roga. Roga is going to take our lands and give to Fulanis tomorrow. In the next 20 or 30 years, the same Fulanis, just the same way, but they just said that 250 years ago, all bushes in Nigeria belongs to Fulanis. That everybody rose up, Fanny Ferrer rose up, Ohanes Indibo rose up, Arewa rose up and said there's no such thing that no land belongs to, no forest belongs to Fulanis. But they just said that 250 years ago that all forests belong to Fulanis. Now he's saying that 250 years ago because usually Nigerians will say, what's there in the bush? Let them go and graze in the bush, no problem. There's no wala there. After all, there's nobody's property in there. Now Bode just laying claim of those bushes. Now the question is, in 20, 30 years time, when there will be emirs of these places, and now remember, when the farmer is looking for land, does he move down from Ekiti down to maybe the Sokoto and say, please give me a land I want to farm? You buy, don't you? Yes, and it's even for lease. Okay, now we're saying that now we have not agreed on Roga. We never agreed on Roga with the federal government. They insisted. We said no. They said livestock were national livestock. We said no, 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 no. It's the same thing as a Roga. Now, by default, the government is also going to Roga. If this is true? If this is true, that means Governor Obaseki is actually indirectly moving to Roga. Look at what Governor Ganduje is saying. He's saying, look, you can all come down to the north and we can do ranching for you. Why don't you allow them all to move to the north? Okay, so that when anybody wants cow meat, we can just like you do importation, you just tell them, okay, give us 13 cows, 15 cows. They bring it down via train. There are rails now. They can just in less than 24 hours, you get the number of cows you're looking for in each state. Just pay in via or bank transfer. They deliver your cows for you via train. Peace. Shikina, everybody's at peace. But now you're asking for indirect Roga. I just hope the governor know what he's doing. That's what we'll wrap it up.